Hi, and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It is time for another great electric blues guitar instrumental. And I am redoing some of my older lessons that I did with my old camera and kind of bad lighting. And this is one for the redo for the lesson on an instrumental called Out Front by Freddie. And so we're going to redo it. And also I figured out some of the parts that I didn't really have down before. So this should be an improvement from the first lesson. The song is in the key of E. And there's a couple chord shapes you need to know, but most of it is single string playing. And the song is divided up into a bunch of stop times, couple solos, and it's really a pretty simple tune to learn. So let's get started. In the key of E, an E chord and an E7. You don't necessarily play the E or E7th chord, but you play a lot of single string runs and single notes in that area. So it helps to make sure you know the E7th shape. So I'm making my E chord, first finger, first fret, third string, second finger on the second fret of the fifth string, ring finger on the second fret of the fourth string. That's my E, and then I put my pinky on the third fret of the second string, and that's my seventh. So that E7th. We are going to use a B7th chord. And I've got my first finger on the first fret of the third string, fourth string, second finger on the second fret of the fifth string, ring finger on the second fret of the third string, pinky on the second fret of the first string. And then from there it's mostly double stops and single string runs. The song starts out with a double stop lick. Let me just play it for you all the way through and then we'll break it down. There's the first verse with the introduction. So he starts out playing this double stop. It's just the first and second strings. I've got my first finger on the seventh fret of the first string, ring finger on the ninth fret of the second string. If you're not familiar with this double stop, it's really a way to remember where to play it is over the second position bar chord. Same fret, seventh and ninth frets. First finger on the first string, ring finger on the second string. It sounds like he slides into it, maybe from one step below. Something like that. And then he goes to an E7th double stop, which is the exact same shape, just moving it up 3 frets with my first finger now on the 10th fret of the first string, ring finger on the 12th fret of the second string. So he does this. Whoops, do it again. And then it's going to go to this shape, first finger on the 9th fret of the first string, second finger on the 10th fret of the second string. And so he's going. Moving that same shape down 2 with my first finger now on the 7th fret of the first string and my second finger on the second string, 8th fret. He's going to bend up a little bit with the second finger. Just a hair. So it's something like that. So the whole lick so far, opening lick. And then he's going to do this. So he's going to move that same shape that we just used to the 4th and 5th frets on the first and second string. And then just walk it down 3 frets. So you're going from the 4th fret with the first finger to the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret. Let's do it all one time real slow. And that's the double stop lick that he kicks off with at the beginning of the song. Then he goes into the bass part. And he's playing that over the 4, which is an A. So it's open 5th string. Then he gets it again. Going to go to the 3rd and 4th frets on the 5th string and then end up on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. You can just keep that finger anchored right there. And then you're going to take your pinky and go to the 5th fret of the 4th string. Back to the 2nd. Like that. So the whole lick. Again. And then you're going to take it back to the 1, just move everything over a string to play it over the E, open 6th string. And then to play it over the 5 or the B, you start on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then you do that lick on the 5th and 6th frets of the 5th string, with your first finger now anchored on the 4th fret of the 4th string. And then that lick is from the 7th fret to the 4th fret, back to the 7th, back to the A, and then the 1. I did a little walk-in on the bass when I demonstrated it like this. He does that, but he only does it on, I think, 1 verse in the song. You can do it whenever you want. Or you can just end it like this. And play a B 7th chord. I should get the 5th string. Like that. So one more time. And then he goes to the next stop. So there is the introduction and the first verse of Out Front by Freddie King. Another double stop off of Stop Time. I'll play it for you one time. I'll just do the double stop part first. And then he's going to go into the bass again. Same thing. Plays that same pattern about four or five different times throughout the song. So what I'm doing here is that same E double stop, and then I'm going to slide to the 7th over and over again, just from one fret below. So I'm sliding from the 9th and 11th frets to the 10th and 12th on the 1st and 2nd string, like that. And he does it again. Then this lick, which is we did it in the first stop time. It's a little different accent on the notes. You can look at the tab and listen to the song, but it's the same pattern. And he stops there instead of going. He doesn't do that. He just goes. And then back into the bass all the way around to the turnaround with the same pattern. So let me play it all the way through that next verse. And another B 7th chord. Now we get ready for the first of 2 solo verses. First solo verse in Freddie King's Out Front. I'm not going to go through the whole solo. I don't have a backing track and it's kind of hard to keep the timing. I don't want to make it worse by confusing you. So I'm just going to go through it with a few phrases at a time. So he concludes the previous verse with the B 7th. And then he's going to go into this lick. What this is just to play off this E double stop, which you hear in a lot of Freddie King stuff when he plays an E. It's an old country blues, Lightning Hopkins, Mance Lipscomb type of thing. And he's going to slide into it from 1 fret below. So I'm going to start with my first finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And then I'm going to pick the 3rd string and slide to the 4th fret. And then when I get the 2nd string, he just does a little bend with the first finger, so it's like this. And then he does this again. Something like that. So he's just doing that twice and then sliding from the 4th to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And an open 3rd string. And then he goes to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. On, open, on. So the first solo, so far we got this. And then he adds adds this lick. One more slide, and then smearing from the 4th to the 2nd fret again, and then an open 3rd string. So that's the first part of the solo. Let's play the whole thing one time. Now he's going to go and play over the A. And he does something like this, where he's going to slide into that same double stop shape, but now into an A. So he's going from the 4th and 5th frets to the 5th and 6th. And he does something like that. He might get the G string twice. I think he does that. And then he goes from the 7th to the 5th to the 3rd fret, and he bends that a couple times slightly. So the whole leg. One more time. He does it again. Then he does one of these licks. I'm not sure exactly what he plays here. I'll have it on the tab. Sounds to me like an open 2nd string maybe to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then this hammer on onto the 1st fret of the 3rd string, which he does all the time. And then an open 1st string. Listen to the lick. It's a typical Freddie King lick in E. So the whole thing going over the 4 or the A. And then he's going to do this playing around over that E7 shape. And he's playing some single strings and also some double stops. So like this. Going to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Little bend and then open. So it's... And then back to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Hammer on 1st fret. Open 1st string. And he plays off the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And the open 1st string. So let me play that one time. You can just check the tab and listen to the original. He does this again in there too. So let me play that whole thing properly. When I get it out of context, it's hard to remember this. And now he's going to go to this. Something like this, where he's going back to that E7th and he's going to slide it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he ends on, I can't figure out exactly what he's doing here. I think he's either ending on this, so that position, which we've done before, 1st finger on the 9th fret of the 1st string, 2nd finger on the 10th fret of the 2nd string. So something like this. Or he may just flatten out the 1st finger on the 10th fret, 1st and 2nd strings. It's one of those. I have to listen to it again and it'll probably make sense. So he does this, just gets the 1st and 2nd strings, and then he does this double stop like this, which is really cool. This is a trademark Freddie King lick. Now he played with a thumb pick and a finger pick on his index finger, so it's real easy for him to pinch strings. I'm using a flat pick, and then I'm going to take my 1st finger and use that. And if I do it aggressively enough, I can get it to sound out enough, or get my fingernail in there a little bit. So the double stop, what he's doing, the 1st pinch is the 1st finger on the 12th fret. We're basically doing this over an E chord. 1st position, E bar chord, down to the 12th and 13th frets. 2nd finger is on the 13th fret of the 3rd string. So all these pinches are 1st and 3rd string. That's the 1st position. Then he goes to the 9th fret, where I'm going to use my 2nd and 3rd fingers. 2nd fingers on the 3rd string, ring fingers on the 1st string. And I'm going to keep those fingers in those positions the whole way down the neck. So it's like this. 7th fret. So it's 12th, 9th, 7th, and then 4th, 2nd, open, 2nd. So let me play it full speed. Work work on that. That's kind of tough. I don't ever play this live, and so it's kind of hard for me to just play it, but that's the idea. And then he's going to do that hammer on the first fret of the third string. And then do another one of these. And wrap it up. So that is the third verse. Let's try all the way through one time. I'll try not to screw it up. There it is. We'll go verse of Freddie King's Out Front. This one's a little trickier, and I don't play this real well, so I know what he's playing, just haven't played it. And to do it note for note, I'll do the best I can and at least show you where he's playing and what he's doing. So he starts out the solo with these 7th double stops. And he's just going back and forth in that rhythm between the 10th and 12th frets on the 1st and 2nd strings and the 9th and 11th. That part's not too bad. Then he's going to do this. And he's going to slide in from the 10th to the 12th fret on the 2nd string. And then 10th fret of the 1st string. And then band up. Something like that. I think it's something like that, where he's going to bend the 12th fret. I'm using all 3 fingers on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Something like that. Check the tab. I'm having trouble remembering right now. And then he goes, sounds like he's going to the 14th fret of the 4th string. And he's going to do this 1 finger bend on the 12th fret of the 3rd string, like that. And then he does it again. And you kind of get that sound. So that whole thing, let me try to play it here. And then he's going to go to this lick. Kind of climb up or down the E7 scale, starting at the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And he's going to start on that 3rd string, 2nd fret, open 2nd string, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, open 1st string, 3rd fret of the 1st string. So like this. Little climbing thing. And then he does this. Something like that. And it sounds to me like he's getting the open 2nd string, 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And he might even just be going to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And then back to that 3rd fret of the 2nd string, slight bend. So that's the next lick. So the whole thing, he's doing this. Then he does this, which is kind of cool. He's going to do that A slide that we did before, but he's going to slide and then play really what's the 1st finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string with the open 1st string, like that. Listen to the original and check the tab. And he does that little run again, 7, 5 to 3 with the bends on the 1st string. And then he's going to do this. So twice on that. Slide from the fourth to the second again. And then he does something like this. For this lick. So open first string, third fret of the second string, open, bend up on the second fret of the third string, bring it back down, and open. And then second fret of the fourth string. So like this. And then the open first string. And then the B7. So that is the end of the second solo. Check the tab, listen to it. That one, kind of awkward, kind of hard to play. He plays some really cool stuff on that. And if I made any mistakes, you'll hear it and you can check it on the tab. But that's pretty much where he's playing and the notes he's playing, and reasonably close to what he's doing. When I come back, we'll take it through the last stop time and the last part of the song and be done.